And I think we're live. So, hello, good morning, good evening, and good afternoon. And welcome to the Blockchain Game Alliance. I'll be your host for today. My name is Clifford, and glad to have you folks here. So, hello, we have Femhe from BOS, and we have Bautista from Reforce Infinity. So, welcome to the demo day. How are you guys feeling today?
Yeah, doing super well. Thanks for hosting us and happy to be here. Hoping that we'll have fun.
Yeah, likewise. I brought some content here to share, so happy to provide some value to the community.
Awesome. Let's just put in a bit of a background music so everything is a bit
All
smooth
right,
and our end.
nice and
So, all
cozy.
right. So, for you people watching out there right now, we're live at 20 viewers. So, we're still fighting up. The stream just started not too long ago. So, welcome. So, today we're going to have our October 14th demo day. I'm not quite sure what time it is from the other continents, but we do have a global audience. So, welcome to the stream. This is your chance to learn something new about Web3 gaming or blockchain gaming in general, and of course, a way to win prizes. As per our previous demo days, if you've been watching the Blockchain Game Alliance, you can learn more about our different projects right here. We have BOS and we have Reforce Infinity. I think we still have one, but we'll just have to wait. All right, without any further ado, let's start. We have different projects. We have BOS and Reforce Infinity. But with that being said, let's start by giving the floor to Fenia. I apologize if I butchered that name. So I'm not sure if I pronounced it
All
correctly.
good.
So welcome. How are you feeling today? Can you tell us a bit more about yourself and what BOS is? And yeah, just dive into it.
All right. Well, thanks for having us, by the way. So my name is Femi. I'm part of the BOS team, and BOS is part of the Arena VN. So we started a few years back, and I personally have been with BG. I've been a member since year one. I like what you guys have been building and shipping and connecting with all people building in the gaming space initially, or at least more specifically. Um, BOS, what is it? I'll dive a little bit deeper in what we are and what we do and how we started all of this. And maybe that's a good way of starting. We started about like 3-4 years ago, trying to ship like a Web3 game, like most of like people listening here. It was tough back then because the technology was not ready. So we needed a lot of like engineering to build the backend, right? All the SDKs that you guys know potentially today did not exist about 3-4 years ago, and it was tough to even like mint an NFT in a game or use a token in a game. So we struggled with that, and we pivoted from building our game to building the infrastructure for game builders, and that's how Arena VS started. It was like good for about a few years. Then obviously the SDKs and the tooling became also commodity and like squeezed us, and that's where we did not really pivot. Actually, it happened organically because we were trying to push our ecosystem, our games to the communities to help them like discover us, play our games, and do our things. And by doing so, we built two very valuable things. The first one is a large community of engaged like Web3 gamers and people who are enthusiastic about Web3 gaming in general. But even more importantly, like a huge partnership list of other projects and other communities that we interacted with over the years and built a real relationship with them. So we became what I would call personally a community of communities. And at that point, we realized that is gold in the end. That is super important because we do have access to a very engaged community of communities, and they are different and like they come in different colors and different aspirations. Um, that's when we decided to launch BOS. So BOS forked out of Arena VS, and BOS is a small project within Arena VS, but very efficient. BOS is literally an NFT launchpad that connects communities, projects, and users. Very simple. We're not any like generic launchpads out there. If you guys are looking for like a Magic Eden or whatever, we are not that type of launchpad. We're very boutique, very niche. We select the project we work with because we want them to fit with the communities that we have on board on the other end. And what we do is technically we help these projects get the traction, get attention, get the users. But they launch and it's completely wrong. Most people fall flat after they launch their collection. We've been doing this for more than a year now. I'm talking about BeeOS, this NFT launchpad, mainly helping projects in gaming, DeFi, AI, as well as DPINs, RWAs, all kinds of different projects. And to be honest, minting an NFT collection is easy, but building a real user base is hard. So, look, we've been burnt ourselves. We spent tens of thousands of dollars on hype, not the agency, but the actual hype, and we ended up with a Discord full of bots, a dead Twitter account. We even got banned at one point, and zero post mint momentum. Right, like once you mint, everything collapses and disappears. So that's why we decided to build BOS. We wanted to actually change the paradigm and say your journey starts at the mint, doesn't finish at the mint. Yes, we need to prepare for the mint, but your journey starts there, doesn't stop there. So that's when we actually built the real partnerships and made sure that they don't stop supporting the project once the mint happened. And we now we pivoted to like building hype through very targeted campaigns and targeted communities that fit with the project and the project's products as well. So we've been through it all. As I said, we've tried the questing, we tried Telegram apps, we tried ads on Twitter, we tried everything, and we got burned and multiple times. And by trial and error, we learned what works and what doesn't. So you can ask, what do you guys actually do? Like, what is this like launchpad thing that you're talking about with communities and engaged users? At its core, we have what we call the launchpad that allows people to launch NFT collections with whitelists, with like reveals and all kinds of like bells and whistles in terms of features. That is the easy part. That's the tech part. We consistently mint all the collections that we push in a few minutes, maybe a few hours max. And we also consistently manage to ship at least like 10,000 or more than 10,000 genuine Web3 users to the project, increase their social engagement, and actually mint out and even increase their Discord, their Telegram, and we do it post-mint, as I mentioned. We do this through multiple things. We have our own KOLs, more than 100. These are long-term KOLs that have been working with us for years and will keep working with us. And they are vetted, reliable, and they understand utility-driven projects. We're trying to get away from like the speculative projects because those are dead and nobody can launch like a 10K PFP collection today and hope that they will sell out. We also have, as I mentioned, more than 300 major communities that partner with us. These include, by the way, the Doodles, Moonbirds, the Putty Penguins, Ape List, Mintify, Sappy Seals, Force Web3, Omnia, Undeads. Like the list is like more than 300, obviously. We're not here to read that list. If you guys want to know more about that list, we can send it by DM or something like that later. We also have more than 200,000 active Web3 users on our email list, so we can send segmented emails, and we have a pretty decent like response rate there. And we also have a questing infra, so not just like Telegram clicker apps; those are dead. We also have questing infra that connects with the different questing engines, as well as builds like a subdomain where people can see whatever they need to do to access the whitelist or to have access to those NFTs or whatever you want them to do, right? So this is the how we do it. If you guys want, I can maybe spend one more minute explaining what we've done, or actually the process of how we do it. We start with phase one, which is the blueprint. We want to understand what is your NFT goal, how does it interact with your product, what utility does it bring to the table, how can people get access to the whitelist, what is the process for them to mint, and what happens post-mint. So we want to understand all of that. That allows us obviously to build the plan and also to identify which partners are the best fit for this specific project. Once we've done that, we know what we need to do. We have the dates and everything. We start the hype engine. This means that we activate our network. We start the teaser drops, the first communications, the first cross-project collabs with these communities, first email campaigns, the first quest, and we hype the project. Once we have enough traction, usually it happens within like 1 week, maybe 10 days max. That's when we go to the rush phase, whitelist rush. This is where we do AMAs, polls, updates, interact with the community to really identify people who are really interested and not just like people who are like, oh, give me a free NFT type of thing, right? Um, that is the phase three, which is the rush, where we're really, really pushing hard towards like building a solid white list of people who are really interested in the project and not trying to mint something that will increase in value over time, like most people do, right? And we build the countdown, right? Obviously, create that FOMO type of effect. Mint day is phase four. So we have infra. You can activate the whitelist. People can go and check if they are eligible to mint. Then they can go and mint. There's obviously usually a reveal process that takes about 24 hours or 48 hours. Everything happens in real time, and we never had any issues. Actually, we had one issue. One of our campaigns was so successful that the website went down for about 10 minutes or so. It was laggy, and then it went down, and then we actually boosted the server, and it went back up. So that's, I would say, a good problem to have. We thought that our infra would scale automatically, but that it refused to scale, so we scaled it manually. That is phase four, by the way. That's the mint. Most people think that's the final step, but it is not. We do most of our work on phase five, which is the post mint ecosystem. Because the launch is just the beginning, as I mentioned. We help projects on like managing the secondary market, set up a royalty strategy, market making as well on the secondary market, post mint utility and unlocks, engaging with the communities that minted post mint, doing AMAs with those people post mint, because most projects, like, they talk to them pre mint, and then once the mint happens, as if nobody knows anybody, right? And everybody goes on their way, and the project collapses. So that's what we do post mint, which is very important. We've done it with multiple projects. I can share, for example, TFI, our latest, they gained more than 10,000 real X followers, more like increased their Twitter Scout score by 52 points, and obviously minted out in a few minutes. They had like more than 700,000 engagements on their campaign from our KOLs, from the email list, and activated more than 370 communities in this case, because their project was in demand. They became trending number one on Magic Eden for Polygon chain, right, during that week. We did the same with GPT 360, around 10,000 followers, 55 plus Twitter Scout points, like increase, and around 500,000 interactions on their campaign, minted out in a few minutes. Same with Daichi, same with all the other projects that we did. So these are not the outliers. This is our standard. Our goal is really to make sure that we activate the communities that are a real fit with what you're building. If you're a game, if you're just like an NFT project, sometimes there are NFT projects that have real utility, either trading or doing something like that. So we're here to co-build. We're kind of a growth strategy assistant. We are not an agency. We're not a launchpad. We're something in between. We've been through this multiple times ourselves, so we're trying to help projects launch successfully, right? It's not about launching an NFT collection. It's about launching your project, and the NFT launch is usually one step within like a longer go-to-market strategy, and we can help with the other with the other aspects of the GTM strategy. We have experts. Myself, I've been like a token design, token incentives, token engineering guy for the past 5 years, and I help projects on that front. But we also have designers, we have marketers, we have like strategic builders, and even have devs if the project needs to build something more specific than just like a whitelist and an NFT mint. So that's who we are in a nutshell. As I said, we've been here for years. We've been through multiple bear markets and bull markets. This one is a little bit different, hoping that it's really going to be a super cycle. And I'm looking forward to seeing the gaming projects rise up again, because they've been a little bit quiet for the past few years. And we all know why, but we're all hoping that the tide will turn, and then we'll go back to really where we should be, like shining as one of the pillars of Web3 in the end. So thank you very much for your time. I hope that it wasn't too long. I didn't have any slides to present, but I think I shared the message I wanted to share.
No, thank you so much, Femi. What you said right there over the past few minutes was more than just. I think it succeeded the slides. You told us a whole story about BOS. It's quite amazing that still after all these years you're still here, you're still building, and actually I'm actually quite amazed with your story because I've heard it all. With a typical agency, you spend like thousands of dollars, wasted 50,000, 40,000. You spend money on KOLs, and at the end of the day, post launch, nobody knows anything. Nobody knows anyone. So I
True.
think I agree with what you said. Post mint is where the battle really starts, if that makes sense, because that's where you start to get the actual members, see the actual engagement after the hype.
Yeah.
Because again, in free gaming, that's also one problem. After the hype, after the KOLs have stopped talking about it, how many more users are actually using your platform? How many players are still playing your game? How many more people are still using your platform or even using your software per se? So
Yeah.
I definitely agree, and really good point. So thank you
I'll
for
share. I'll
sharing.
share one
Yes.
more example. About 2 years ago, we did like a major campaign. We minted 1.1 million NFTs for free during that campaign, and we built like an 800,000 email list. We were so hyped, going crazy. 2 weeks later, we were down. Why? Because 99.99% of that was crap. It was bots. It was like airdrop farmers and hunters. It was nothing quality. So we lost everything. And since that day, churn became our biggest enemy. Our goal is really retention, 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 and that's how we stand out. And I'm going to leave you with that. I don't want to hug the whole thing. I just want to say that we're proud to be BGA members, and we also offer a 15% discount to all BGA members. So you guys can reach out to me or to us, BOS. DMs are always open, and we're happy to help.
That's amazing. Thank you so much. All right, folks, you heard it. For those interested, you were speaking about launching a token, correct? Or some sort of marketing strategy, Femi? Is that correct?
It is like we help people go to market. So sometimes people go to market without launching a token, by the way. Not all projects need a token. So what we do is we help projects gain actual users, gain traction, and go to market, mint NFTs, and maybe launch a token. I personally help on the tokenomic side, but BOS helps on multiple aspects, mainly helping people get to that GTM properly and successfully.
So let me just put in for our viewers who are watching right now, 50% off of BOS. You can, just head over to, actually, let me just link the website right here.
Yep. And you can potentially link our X account, and people can reach out there, and then we're happy to help, obviously, all the time.
15% off of BOS for BGA members only. So if you're not a BGA, be sure to sign up for a membership. And yeah, be sure to check out BOS. I'll even send the link here for their website. Be sure to check it out as well. And of course, their X handle. Just post it here. So we have 3 links. Right. Here's their X handle. Be sure to check out BOS _ Arena VS. All right. So I think that's it. So thank you so much, Femi. And now for the moment that you folks have been waiting for, it's time for the prizes. And for this specific project for BOS, you have a chance to win a 1 BOS NFT. So get your stuff ready. If you have been listening for the 40 plus viewers that we're watching right now, be sure to check it out. This is your chance to win 1 BOS NFT. So the question is, just post the question. So the question is, what is the key strategy for attracting active degens presented in the BOS Launchpad? So let's just wait for a bit until we have our answer. All right, we have one from Sylvester. The answer he gave was free mint. Femi, can you confirm if this is correct?
It is one of the strategies. So yes, we can say it's correct.
Congratulations, Sylvester. You have just won yourself a BOS NFT. So congratulations to you. So well done. I'll be sharing with you the sign up form. Let me just pull it out here real quick. We also have some other answers as well, but unfortunately, only the first one who answers correctly will be considered. We have paid mint. I'm not quite sure if this is actually correct. We have also clean and transparent mechanics. So we have people watching. So unfortunately, Sylvester got it correctly first. So better luck next time with our next demo day. We still have one prize though, so be sure to be on the lookout. Sylvester, please check out the doc or the link that has been presented to you on the screen. Be sure to check it out and click on it or copy and paste on your mobile phone or your browser, and the BOS team will come back to you to deliver your prize. So thank you so much. Awesome. With that being said, thank you so much, Femi. Yeah, I really appreciate what you're voting here. And again, really, retention is the problem. I don't think it's just in Web3, but also in Web2 as well. It's one of the most difficult aspects when you're trying to launch a product or a game. So thank you so much for your guided wisdom. Next up, we have Bautista Moni. I'm not gonna pronounce the last one. I might mess it up, so apologies for that. So good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. How are you? Can you tell us a bit more about yourself, what you do, and what Reforce Infinity is?
Good morning. Yeah, absolutely. So I'm CMO at Reforce Infinity. So we are an innovation agency specialized in helping Web3 gaming companies grow through marketing and user acquisition. I couldn't agree more with everything that's been said up to now. And our focus, honestly, is going to be a bit more into the Web2 space. So we don't really think in Reforce Infinity that you need to do Web3 specific campaigns in order to success in the Web3 space. Of course, if you can combine both of them, you're going to do absolutely phenomenal. But we strongly believe that human psychology is going to be always in the top. So if you can actually create content that converts, that's going to always be the best. So in the next 15 minutes, I'll share with you a simple but pretty powerful framework that we internally use to create viral content that drives user acquisition without having to spend endless hour like brainstorming and trying to figure out what's going to be that perfect hook. So this is the exact same process that we use to help our clients to scale their traffic and convert social media attention into users. So our main focus is usually content generation specifically. And we usually just leverage the traditional social medias that everyone uses, such as Instagram and TikTok and YouTube Shorts. That's pretty big as well. So the first step, whenever you're starting to make content, is going to be understanding the ecosystem. So it's going to be a pretty deep research. We're going to start identifying which is our main niche and possible sub niches as well. That's going to come in handy later on. So step number 2 would be finding who are the main creators and brands in your specific niche. So once we understand who are the biggest ones, we can start to analyze their social media profiles and focus just in Instagram and TikTok and figure out which are the top 10 performing posts by each of those creators. Once we have all of this data, we can start organizing and analyzing, which would be understanding from these 5 to 10 pieces of content per creator, which are the exact hooks that they are using, what are the visual hooks, what they are, how they are actually getting the attention from their potential users. So from all of that, we would get a list of 25 to 100 examples of what is actually working in social media. So from there, we would start going for the creation of actual scripts that we will be internally using in order to acquire new users for our games or platforms. So based on what we already found, we would just recreate it using the brand guidelines of the company we're working with, just so that we adapt it and make sure that everything fits perfectly. So this gives the team a plug and play content library to record efficiently without having a creative burnout. Because honestly, the main struggle in content generation is knowing what to record. If you were following like a specific framework on how to recreate content and make something that actually sticks, it would be so much easier. And that's where we come in, honestly. Like, we help to do all of the research, we help create the scripts, and we just ask the creators we're working with to help us record those specific contents, because it's vital that we have the personal brand involved in the actual content generation process. So after we have those contents recorded by the team, ideally founders or team members, we would go ahead and start with the production and editing of those contents. So we would be recording any necessary takes that are like extra. We would be adding subtitles. This is very important because about 50% of people who are watching social media don't even use sound. So if you're not having subtitles, they instantly leave. Ideally, we also add some B-roll to keep the content engaging and having stuff happening all the time, keeping everyone engaged. And we would absolutely be following the editing style of reference that we selected and we took from the reference contents that we saw in the beginning. So this is going to be the main things. Some additionals we can always add would be, for example, adding a call to action in the end. For example, if you want some kind of freebie to join the game, you can comment X word, and then we can set up a mini chat automation to convert those comments into conversations. And then in the Instagram or TikTok DMs, we can send them the links so we can actually convert an interaction into a user. And ideally later on, we're going to convert that user into a paid user. So the last step here would be automation and distribution. Aside from this, we can always create additional like stories and different kind of contents based on the specific interactions we want the users to make regarding our game or platform. So to wrap it up, I feel like this framework should help the BGA community to replicate viral successes systematically. So it would allow their marketing teams to keep consistent, creative, and focused on metrics that actually matter, which would be retention, engagement, and user acquisition, or clicks on links. So in Reforce Infinity, we help Web3 and gaming projects to scale their audience using this exact process. So if you'd like to apply this system to your game or platform, and you feel a bit overwhelmed or don't have the team to execute all of this strategy, we'll be more than happy to jump on a call and see what we can do for you guys.
That's amazing. Thank you so much, Bautista. So it's more on the content creation side, and you're not just limited to Web3, is that correct?
Yeah, exactly. And honestly, most of the strategies we use, as they are focused on content generation, they are Web2 or Web3 agnostic.
Gotcha. So I have a question. This has been debated a lot in the community back then. So being an agency, can you enlighten us maybe, or maybe just fix the myth or maybe break the ice? What are the best platforms do you think as an agency with over your years of experience? I know you have a full-fledged team. I just saw your website and you cover a wide array of services. What platforms do you think works best for Web3 projects? Not specifically into gaming, but more on Web3 in general. What are the best platforms that you think would work best?
Yeah, that's a really good question. So Honestly, if I was going for user acquisition, ideally I would want as many users as possible, as many players as possible joining my game. So if I want as many as possible, I would just go to the platform where people are. So depending on the niche, you would understand like your target audience, where they are based, and just go for it. Honestly, I feel like Instagram, TikTok, YouTube Shorts are the biggest ones. That's where the traffic is. And if any of the contents you create are slightly viral, that's where you're gonna find your target audience. Also, the algorithms are very smart. So if you're creating content and that speaks to your target audience, and your account is validated, I mean, you didn't buy any followers, your content has always stick to the same niche, the algorithm is eventually going to help you find those people that are looking for you.
That's amazing. Yeah, and that is also correct. So all of these are organic, correct? No, no, yeah, you already mentioned it. So yeah, I agree. You know, these algorithms help you find your user base, whether or not they're intentional or not. I think it works best. So yeah, thank you so much for sharing. All right, folks. For you guys watching out there, for again, still our 45 plus viewers, be sure to check out. Let me just send here the website reforceinfinity.com. Be sure to check it out. And this is your chance to win some prizes as well. So we have the prize is going to be a growth marketing audit for your project. So for if there's anyone watching out there right now who is a game or is a developer or someone in the marketing space, this is your chance to win it. If not, we're gonna have to raffle it out if possible. But if not, that's okay. We can always, just come back on the next demo day. So the question is, I think this is actually very easy in my opinion. So yeah, the question is, are you ready for the most difficult question of all time in Web3? The question is, should you post quality or quantity? All right, first responder to get the answer correctly will get a free growth marketing audit for their game. All right, or project. All right, there we have it. We have from I don't know how to pronounce that. Bantu Basker. Yes, there we go. Bautista, can you confirm if this is correct or not?
So whenever you're starting out with a new project, honestly, the best thing is going to be quantity, just to understand what is actually working, which are the messages that are actually sticking with your community. Because the first few contents that you're gonna be making are gonna have like 200 views. Like that's the honest truth. So initially, when you're starting out, the best is gonna be quantity. And once you actually figure it out what is working, then you're gonna start going for quality.
Mhm. Gotcha. Do we have any other answers? You still have time to change your answer, folks. Let's just wait. Maybe they're thinking about it. Let's just wait for a couple of more responses. Do we have any takers for the growth marketing audit for your project or game? Do we have any takers? Because we're gonna close in a few minutes here. Do we have any takers? We have one. There we have it. So it's 50-50, and the first one to, or the third one to answer is actually Sylvester. Unfortunately, Bantu, you answered a bit too late. We already had Sylvester who's already answered. So yeah. So congratulations again, Sylvester Michael. Please fill out the form I sent you earlier. It's this one, and be sure to claim your prize, and the Reforce Infinity will get back to you as soon as possible. So yeah, I think that's it. Thank you so much for being here today at the demo day. I've learned a lot about marketing stuff, especially from you two very experienced leaders in the field. So thank you so much for sharing. Do you have any parting notes, key takeaways that you would like to share before we end the stream today?
Yeah, absolutely. So getting back to the content creation, like once you figured out what is actually working and you've got some content that is organically already working well, I think it's absolutely phenomenal to go for a bit of paid ads as well. So whenever you're starting out, you need to understand what's working. But when you already found something that kind of sticks, it's a really good strategy to try to give it volume by investing some money into it.
Gotcha. And what about you, Femhi? Do you have any parting words before we end our stream today?
Femi, you're muted.
Trying hard to unmute with the computer that's lagging. Parting words, if you guys can hear me, is do not panic. Sometimes the markets go red, but it will be fine afterwards. So never panic.
Gotcha.
Absolutely. Keep building.
I have never heard words as more wise than that. I think it sums up the whole sentiment in the Web3 space, because sometimes when the token plunges down, let's say Bitcoin, everybody loses their minds. But when the market is going well, they don't care. But it loses just a few points, they go crazy. Oh no, the project is over. Everyone's going to die and stuff. It's the end of the world. And no words would have been truer than that. Don't panic. So that's the key takeaway here. So with that being said, folks, thank you so much for the 50 viewers watching right now, the Blockchain Game Alliance, and of course to the winners. Congratulations for winning. With that being said, thank you so much for being part of the demo day. And as always, I'll see you in the next one. Bye, everyone. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.